Are Chelsea worse than what they were 1 year ago? It's time we talk about Todd Boehly.
Todd Boehly.
Todd Boehly. The Todd Boehly-led consortium.
Led by Todd Boehly.
Todd Boehly.
Todd Boehly. A deal has been agreed to sell Chelsea to the consortium led by Todd Boehly.
In 2 windows, has managed to spend £600 million.
Enzo Fernandez.
€120 million.
Completed the signing of Mykalio Mudryk.
Chelsea have signed Noni Madueke.
Chelsea have confirmed the signing of Benoit Badiashile.
Joao Felix has now completed his loan move to Chelsea.
See, Todd Boehly might be one of the smartest Premier League owners we have ever seen, and yet that might not be enough. Chelsea aren't just a club with endless amounts of cash, they're a story of placing unimaginable amounts of pressure onto one man's shoulders. That man will decide whether Chelsea lift the Champions League in Istanbul or don't even make it into top 4 next season. First, let's get the obvious out of the way. Most people want their team to act like Chelsea. Relentless amounts of investment, bringing in some of the most exciting prospects in Europe to compete at the highest level of European football under one of the highest rated English managers, and Rory Jennings has just booked another year on Saturday Social. Most of this is good, but for some reason, I feel like we've been here before. Kai Havertz, a German wonderkid. Goal-scoring machine Timo Werner. Ziyech from that Ajax team. And England's newest fullback talent. £250 million spent under an exciting English manager. I feel as though I'm getting deja vu, and I'm the only one. Forgive me for being a little cautious about this Chelsea revolution. Now, don't get it twisted. This new man in charge is on a different planet to Frank Lampard. I just don't think we should disillusion ourselves with the idea that money buys success. Surely we've already learned our lesson. Money aids success. It keeps success happening. I would love to shout that in a certain American's face right now. But no part of Graham Potter's time at Chelsea have we seen even a slither of success. And I mean, even down to a successful formation. Thomas Tuchel came in early 2021 after Frank Lampard was sacked and won the Champions League that same year with the squad previously mentioned. Frank Lampard may have built the squad that won the Champions League, but Thomas Tuchel gave us a team, a unit, 11 players working on the same wavelength that lifted that trophy in Portugal. For me, that is the difference that decides champions. 6 finals in 2 years is the definition of delivering in football. He spunk some of those finals at the wall. I mean, I'm sure Yuri Tillemans hasn't been invited to brunch since then. But the point is, he guided that changing room full of players that didn't belong together to success, to finals, to trophies. And yet, at the first time of asking, Todd Boehly sacked him, only to start the whole cycle all over again. And not only was he sacked, and perhaps justifiably so, depending on what was happening behind the scenes, he then brought in Graham Potter, who I rate highly, but let me tell you why he is not the correct fit.
Chelsea have appointed Graham Potter as their new head coach.
Like I said, I rate Potter extremely highly. Not only do I think he looks quite sexy in a suit, but I also think his tactical mind is some of the best this country has to offer. But I am really struggling to understand how Graham Potter fits at Chelsea. Some managers, no matter how good or exciting they are, don't fit the club. Some managers don't fit the dressing room. Sam Allardyce didn't fit in most dressing rooms. We can all buy into what Todd Boehly is doing at Chelsea, radically changing the football club into a place where youth can prosper, playing exciting, expansive football, because playing football in West London is already attractive enough. You may as well have blonde highlights doing it. But the man doing the team talks is possibly the most vital decision you have to make. You have to have some form of leverage over a changing room, especially one like Chelsea's, and especially if you're a young manager, because you can't always chalk your decisions down to experience. Mikel Arteta has the tutelage of Pep Guardiola. The same could be said for Xavi, who played in one of the best teams ever assembled. Hell, Zidane was one of the best players of all time, and he also looks like he could peg Iron Man. So when your plan is to buy some of the best young talents in Europe with seemingly no strategy other than here's an 8-year contract, I'll get you an Airbnb, why is it that you choose your cool dad to deal with that changing room? I don't think that the overall direction of the football club is wrong. Far from it. I just think it's glaringly obvious that the tools chosen to do so are wrong. Teenage boys have posters of Michelle Keegan on their walls, and football hipsters have posters of Brighton Football Club. And the man that pioneered the phenomenon that is Brighton Football Club was Graham Potter. The man developed players from seemingly nothing and consistently overachieved at a team with very little money. There was no doubt he was the boss at Brighton. And look at them now, reaping the rewards of the foundations he built. But now Graham Potter has walked into a very different changing room, and one that is rapidly growing. He wasn't aware of his playing style before half of Europe decided to walk through the door, and now he's expected to put these pieces together in a coherent team that will challenge for a title. Do not make a mistake, this team is built to challenge for the Premier League and the Champions League back to back to back, and all of that is on Graham Potter. So whether you like it or not, Todd Boehly has placed £600 million of pressure onto Graham Potter's shoulders. Success lies in the balance on the shoulders of Graham Potter, and there's simply no other way to look at it.